Have you heard of the Marilyn Monroe conspiracy theory?
I've heard like a.
You know who that is, right?
Well, yeah.
Because I'm just saying,
Bro,
because like
how do you
nobody.
not know Marilyn Monroe?
No, I'm not gonna lie. Look, I'll be honest. Every now and then, well, this is like way back. Every now and then, I used to like see people with shirts because you know a lot of people wearing shirts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, why is everybody wearing her? And then one day I searched her up. I was like, who is she? Oh, that's her.
Bro.
Oh, that makes sense.
How do you not know her?
But according to the theory, right? So Marilyn Monroe is like she was a famous like American actress and model.
Mm-hmm.
And according to the rumors, because you know during this when she was like at the height of her era, like when she was really famous, the president that at the time was John F. Kennedy, right? And so there was a rumor that she had a relationship.
Yeah, everybody knows that. Like
everybody
she
knew
had something with him.
that she had something to do with the Kennedy, the president, right? And that obviously that was her affair and all that. And so there's a conspiracy theory that obviously when they have like their relationship and all that, and like the mistress and all that going on, that John F. Kennedy will like tell her secrets, like government secrets, UFO secrets, extraterrestrial body secrets, everything, like stuff like that, like government like high classified. Because you know you're the president, you're obviously gonna know a lot of classified stuff that the average person does not know. Yeah. And so the conspiracy is that she was, according to the conspiracy theory, that she was whacked by the CIA or by the government.
Whacked by the CIA?
But she was killed by the CIA or by the government. Or somebody high up there that did. Because, you know, think about it, right? You're a president. And you're obviously, when you're in love and you're having, like, you know, a mistress and all that, you don't really care what you say. Mm-mm. But I was in the moment because, you know, you're going through love and all that, right? But, like, obviously the people behind him are like, yo, what are you doing? Like, you're giving all the secrets. How do we know she's not a spy? How do we know she's basically a loose end at this point? Yeah. Because you're like, let's say if you see her every single week and she's your mistress and all that, and you, like, supposedly love her and all that, you're probably giving her all the secrets, like, hey, all the warships, like, no, basically classified information that should not be told. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure the president has like classified meetings with like the CIA, FBI, and all that. And imagine all that information being given out to her. And so, according to also this conspiracy theory, is that she also had a red diary. And so a red diary. And so in this red diary, she'll like, obviously it's a diary, so like she'll like write her thoughts and all that. And that within this red diary, she'll like talk about her like, not meetings, but like her interactions with the president, John F. Kennedy, and like how they would talk about like aliens and just all that shaky stuff, right? She would write that in a book, allegedly, and they would call it the Red Diary. So this is where she would write all those stuff, right? According to her, that the John F. Kennedy would tell her, and also she ended up dying, right? Yeah. According to everybody, it was an overdose.
I think it was like something involving like drugs or something.
Yeah, something, or they wanted to make it seem like a suicide or something. But I'm thinking about it, right? If it's the CIA or something, what they don't when they whack somebody, they don't just whack you and then leave a trail like, oh, possibility like, oh no, this is somebody actually like killed you with the gun or something. No, they always, how do they do it? Oh, it was an accident. Always, like if you fall off a balcony or if you like burn yourself, it's always an accident. And then what is the situation that happened? She got like, it was so like it was too perfect, the situation. So like when she died, they found her like head down on the bed, the pills next to her, and then a phone. I think a phone, like because you know back then it was like landlines and all that. Yeah. A phone on her hand.
So they basically, I bet they like kind of like set it up.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, that's too perfect. Like you're telling me like the pills didn't like flew or something, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was like kind of like they did it and then they put the, you know, around her to make sure, oh, as soon as they come in the door, like, you know, the investigation and all that, oh, she committed, you know, suicide or whatever. But the thing is, they did, according to the media and all that, right? It was a rumor also that she was facing like, she was kind of like a drug addict, I think. It said maybe they could have used that as like, you know, this is suicide, she overdosed or something like that. But allegedly that the CIA whacked her because of that. But there's some interesting facts before she died, right? So before she died, there was a couple phone calls, the records of the phone calls to the John F. Kennedy and her brother before she died.
Her brother? Why her brother?
Who knows?
Wait, so the Kennedys were talking to her brother?
No. We're talking to her. So John F. Kennedy and John F. Kennedy's brother.
John F. Kennedy and John Kennedy.
So the president, right? John F. Kennedy, the one that got assassinated allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly, because that was really sus as well.
Yeah.
So that got his brother as well.
Oh, yeah.
His brother was also like communicating within the last couple of days, right, leading up to where she died. Mm-hmm. Where like in the phone records, where they were like one of the last people that talked to her. I don't know. They're probably like, hey, yo, you need to cut it with all this, public, because come to find out, according to records, she did seem like distressed to her friends, like her close friends. Mm-hmm. She seemed distressed, like she wasn't herself. And also there is record that she was saying that there's a lot of secrecy knowledge that she knows that she needs to tell the public.
Which would make it like. It would make a lot.
That's a red flag right there to the CIA. That's a green flag for like, yo, you're getting whacked, bro. Because think about it, like I'm telling to the public, yo, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna tell you this, and next thing you know, a couple days after,
she dies.
Well, suicide or whatever.
She probably knew like.
Also, the diary was never found.
They probably took it.
The diary was lost.
She like probably knew that they were gonna like they were going after her, so like that's probably she was probably like. I think
they were trying. Maybe they were trying to like, yo, you need to cut it because maybe they knew what was gonna happen if she kept going, and then that was like the last hurrah. Like,
so you think they threatened her?
Probably threatened her, and then she wasn't listening or she didn't care.
And she still kept on going.
And she probably kept going. Or they were probably like, hey, yo, this is what's gonna happen. Because obviously, she loves her, right? But obviously, like, they told him, hey, yo, you gotta tell her to stop because now she's saying that she's gonna do this publicly and all this, so you gotta stop. Like trying to like scare her or like let her know like, hey, yo, there's some people bigger than me that are saying if you come out with this information or you're a loose end, you're becoming a loose end, we might, not we, but they might, rock you.
Yeah.
But I guess she didn't want to listen or she didn't take it like a real risk. And next thing you know, suicide apparently or overdosed.
Yeah.
But there was like, even after her death, there was a lot of like really sus stuff. For example, like, one of the things was that with the records, like the medical records, like some of the police files, like the police and all that, a lot of them came up missing throughout the years.
Missing.
That's really like, bruh, like.
How can you like mix like police files and like medical files?
Maybe the top people came down like, yo, you can these two files, you never seen them ever.
That's crazy.
I mean, all of that, like, for example, like, to lose a police file, you're not just going to lose it, like, as an accident. You know what I mean? Somebody probably told you, hey, this is where it was, and that's it.
And to think that, like, she was loved by, like, a lot of people. Yeah, and that's the thing.
She was loved by so many people.
And they just, like, knocked her out like that.
But that's the thing. That's why I think, like, they really try to make it seem like it's a suicide. Because, like, think about it, right? She's already very well known. Mm-hmm. Imagine if somebody just whacked her, and then first degree murder, whatever. What would the audience do or her followers? We gotta find who did it. But if they already kind of know if, hey, she already has problems with like drugs and all that.
Yeah.
Suicide. Oh, okay, maybe. You know what I mean? Yeah, they wouldn't try to find like, was it an accident or was it not? You know. But yeah, there was, like I said, like. There was a missing record, and not only that, all the witnesses, like the timelines of when they found the body. Like I remember there was like the people who cleaned the houses who found her, like all their testimonies and all that the timeline didn't make sense. Like from when they found her, from when they made the call, like the timeline, like hey, at this time we made the call, at this time we found the body. The timeline just didn't add up. Yeah. And obviously with the missing records,
it just adds more like suspicion
to the fire. Like, hey, it's more sus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I always see her like, well, not see her, but like see her like in the shirts.
On the t-shirts. She's
shirts.
Always on the t-shirts.
Always on the shirts, and then every now and then I'll see her like in movies and stuff, like the old classic movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is. What do you think happened?
Honestly, I feel like they probably like whacked her too, cause like it's like kind of weird.
Remember what I always say. You're a friend with the CIA or with the spies until you become a loose end. Once you're a loose end, it doesn't matter. You're done.
If like they think that you're gonna be like threatening to like their information, they're like.
And it's one thing if they think, but it's another thing you're saying it, and then oh yeah, bro, It's a wrap. We're gonna take you out. We're just trying to figure out how we're gonna do it. And not only that, like, I'm pretty sure the CIA knows, like, injection. Like, for example, like, if they inject you with something, they can make you kill. It can, like, whatever the reaction can have in your body can, like, make you have a seizure or stroke.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, drugs.
Like, natural, or, like, it can stop your heart. And then next thing you know, the coroner, those are the coroner, right? Who physically, like, do an autopsy of your body. Oh, he had a heart attack. Yeah. Based on the injection or, like, the pill, or, you know, or maybe he had an allergic reaction to bees. You got, like, an injection of a bee. You know what I mean? You never know. I mean, because think about it. All these top agencies, they know what they're doing. They're the top of the people. They know.
Not only do they know they're doing, they've done it before.
And they've done it before. And if they do it to their own, like, American citizens, which I'm pretty sure they do, and they do it to, like, you know, other countries like Russia and stuff like that, like, what's gonna make you stop from, like, doing that to, like, a famous actress or an average Joe? Nothing. And then what are they gonna who is gonna testify against them? The DOJ? Their own people? No. It's not how it works. But that's the conspiracy theory of Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And then, like I said, the whole stuff leading up to her death is really sus. That's one. And then the second part is all the stuff after her death, like the missing records and all that. I really think it's super sus.
Yeah,
really sus for sure. I think she did get whacked, in my opinion.
I think she did too. Probably. It's just all weird. And like, I don't know.
That's not weird. And then obviously another thing will be John F. Kennedy literally got whacked too.
Yeah.
A president got whacked. Well, obviously Abraham Lincoln, you know. That's different, you know what I mean?
No, but like also that was like way back then.
That's
so,
way
like,
back. So obviously the Secret Service wasn't there, you know what I mean? It's different times. But even obviously it's a different thing.
And it's also because like John F. Kennedy was in a car just straight out there, which is like pretty weird for a president to be. Also,
another thing is, I don't know if what did I just say? The CIA does loose ends, you're whacked. Who's the one that murdered him? I think it was a white guy who murdered him, and then he went to jail. Obviously, they went to jail and they were booking him and all that. Yeah. Somehow he committed suicide.
Really?
Yeah. I think I saw that he committed suicide. Oh, he died. He died or committed suicide. One of those two. But I know he died in a jail before they did any investigation and all that.
That's crazy. It's
come on, and then they do it in jail. Like, bro, you're in prison, bro. Like, you're like, you think about it. If you're the one who whacked the president, right? And you're like maybe in like getting money or paid by the CIA, you think the CIA is not gonna whack you in their own prisons, bro? I don't know. That's sus. But yeah, I really think she did. Unfortunately, she did get whacked. Yeah. But I know a lot of people loved her and followed her. For sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, definitely. That's the Marilyn Monroe conspiracy theory.